Hey guys, Kirk here from Kirk's Aquariums. Hope you've all been doing well. Today I'm going to share with you guys a bit of a fish room update. So there's been so much going on in the fish room in the last couple of weeks, and I thought I'd share that with you guys. So if at any point in time you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. With all that out of the way, let's get started in today's video.
Alright, so we are going to start off with the fry tray systems, which are sort of out of control at the moment. I just finished setting up this one. I actually saved some eggs, so I can't zoom in too close, otherwise it starts flickering with the light. But I actually saved some eggs last night. One of the male longfin albino bristlenose decided to kick his eggs out, and I thought, oh, I better save them. I'm not sure if they're going to hatch or not, but we'll leave them in there and see what's going on. Over here we have super red bristlenose. They're about 2 weeks old. We've got about a week and a half old spawn of longfin albino bristlenose here as well. Over in this disgusting looking tray we have some normal, just common sort of bristlenose, your brown sort of common ones. And then over here we've got another spawn of super red bristlenose as well. So the fry tray systems are full of bristlenose. And over here I thought I'd give you guys an update because last time I showed you guys the video, we pulled this spawn of ram eggs. Now I've left this here just so I can show you guys this video, but these guys, the eggs went white pretty quickly. I had a sneaky suspicion they were going to, but I always try just in case, you never know. And the worst part is not only did the eggs fungus like they have here, we also lost the male that I showed you guys in the last video as well, so a little bit disappointed about that. But I do have a backup pair of rams that I am working on. They've actually laid eggs. I'll show you guys them in a sec. You can't really see the eggs, it's like their first spawn together, so it's a pretty pathetic spawn, but they've laid them in the back corner of the actual tank itself, not on any rocks or anything like that. So I'll show you guys them now. So this is the backup pair of rams. This is the female here. This tank was originally planned to hold some baby super red bristlenose. I've just pulled like a big batch out, and they're in actually the tank next door because I had no space for them. I didn't want to put them in this tank with a pair of rams that are breeding because the baby super reds aren't gonna fare too well with that. So I put this rock in that's now getting algae growing all over it for them to lay their eggs on, and they decided to lay their eggs all the way up the back corner over near the silicon where that pathetic male is. And the female looks really, really nice. Like, she's got her colours all turned on. She's got, you know, a good amount of size to her. She's looking healthy. But unfortunately, this male is just, again, the male seems to be not the best. He's quite skinny. I'm conditioning him up, so hopefully, you know, he turns into a nice male. But with rams, you know, once they're already a bit skinny and scrawny looking, it's really hard to beef him back up. So you can see here he's tiny compared to the female. I bought them at the same time, but yeah, I mean, it's just why I want to get into like local breeding of rams and stuff like that. It's really hard to buy good quality like rams, especially from wholesaler, and not all wholesalers. Like, it's just, you know, just the way it is. So I've dewormed them now. They're on like live foods. They're on some baby brine shrimp. They're on some frozen bloodworms. Not too many though, because they can kind of gorge themselves a bit too much on the frozen bloodworm. So just a little bit here and there just to help with some size. But hopefully this male will sort of grow up to be a little bit healthier than what he is now. So moving over to this tank. So this is a complete update video. So basically the last week and a half there has been a tremendous amount of babies going on in the fish room, and that's kind of what this video is all about, just showing you an update. So this is the biggest batch of super reds I have ever made. There is about 42 super red bristlenose in here. There's more underneath the sponge filter and underneath all this, but I'm just trying to show you guys. I've had to move them into my longfin albino Cory tank because I knew these guys weren't going to harass them or pester them or anything like that, and there's still some brown algae and stuff like that built up on the back and the sides of this tank. So I thought that'd be some food for them at least to start off with. Once they start cleaning all the glass off, I'll put in some algae wafers and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully grow out a decent spawn of super reds. But yeah, there is a lot of super red bristlenose in the fish room at the moment, so we're just pumping them out at the moment. The brood stock that I've got, I'll show you them in a sec as well, because they just continue week after week pumping out clutches of super red bristlenose babies, and that is always amazing in the fish room. Alright, not going to spend too long, but I just thought I'd show you. He is actually sitting on another clutch of eggs, and he's actually sitting what I think he is actually sitting on 2 separate clutches of eggs. I've got some B-roll footage because I can't like put the light on whilst filming, so I've got some B-roll footage I'll put up on the screen now. But I think you can see he's sort of sitting on like 2 clutches of eggs, which is absolutely amazing, because that's going to be a lot more baby super red bristlenose. But yeah, this male has been absolutely amazing. He just, every single week, there's a few females in here, I just keep conditioning them up. I mean, the mop, I should be pulling the mop as well, because these Bosmani rainbows, I've watched them the last like 5 or 6 mornings in a row just go into this mop and do their thing, and it's going to be absolutely loaded with Bosmani rainbow eggs. But I'm not sure about pulling it because I am actually starting to run out of room in the fish room itself. So it's one thing to be able to breed the fish, it's another thing to be able to have all the space to grow the fish out. So I've been getting rid of the green water out of these small tanks, and these are finally the first successful spawn of baby Bosmani rainbows. They are on the baby brine shrimp, growing out well. I've been doing pretty heavy water changes on this tank, just getting rid of the green water now so I can start to actually see them. But I think I've counted them, there's about 20 to 30 in here, about 20, 25 realistically. So that's a pretty good spawn in my opinion. I'm pretty happy with that, considering the last 2 times I've spawned with the Bosmanis, spawned with the Bosmanis, tried to get the Bosmanis to spawn. It was only sort of like 6 or 7 out of a batch. So this is definitely an improvement from the last time. So 2025 baby Bosmani rainbows. Just thought I'd quickly give you an update on them. Haven't grown much since the last video, but at least you can see them a little bit better now in the clearer water. So moving right next door, it's still a little bit green, this one, because they're still a little bit smaller. So I don't like to take away the green water out of the tanks until they're really on the baby brine, because the green water just gives them a little bit extra food throughout the day to help grow. So for now, I'm just going to hold the camera over the tank like that. Hopefully you guys can see them. But these are baby turquoise rainbows. So there's actually a pretty solid spawn in here as well. There's about 20 or 25 in here. I think there might be a little bit less than the Bosmanis, but I counted the other day roughly around 20, 25. So it's about the same, but these are really, really cool. I'm excited to grow these up. This will be another, run to the fish shop, sorry. So my local fish shop will eventually get turquoise rainbows and Bosmani rainbows. So this time around should be a little bit more successful at selling rainbow fish, because these 2 species of rainbow fish actually are a lot more popular than the Goyder River rainbow fish, but we'll see. So I'm not going to go too heavy on rainbow fish. 1, they take a really long time to grow up, and 2, they're not as popular of a fish as we like to think they are. But that is what's going on in these 2 small tanks. Be feeding out some live baby brine. I just thought I'd show you, for those, those who don't know live baby brine shrimp when you hatch it out. This one to the right here, this one I hatched out last night, and this is what I didn't feed out last night, so I've made it up again, and I'm going to feed pretty much most of this out this morning. This one is a new batch I started last night, and as you can see the difference here, this is the live hatched version, and these are all still eggshells swirling around in some air and some salt water, and they will hatch probably later tonight, if not tomorrow morning. Usually takes about 36 to 48 hours for live baby brine to hatch, depending on a few things. Temperature is the main one. And then so I'm gonna drain this now and feed it to my little baby angelfish. So that is draining out right now down into the sieve. Sorry, I've got a bit of a mess on my workbench, but that is quite easy to set up. I have made a video on how to hatch baby brine shrimp. It is quite an old video now, but that's pretty much all it is. So we're gonna go and feed this out now to all my baby fish. So that's my brine shrimp that I'm gonna feed out. It's just sitting there. I like to drain the water into the container underneath, but I also like to come in with my little pipette, and I just come in and sort of just rinse it with some tank water. It's a little bit hard to do one-handed, but just like so. Just to get rid of that like salty sort of water. It's not really that bad for the tank, like there's minimal amount of salt that goes into the water. I'm just a little bit pedantic, I'm a little bit, just make sure it's cleaned out. So I just do that a couple of times just to help flush it out. And then once I've done that, I'll pretty much just come in and get a nice scoop like so. And we'll go feed to some of these fish. We'll go feed to these little baby guppies first. Sorry for the glare. So I'm just gonna squirt that in. And enjoy the show. I've really been pumping out the red tuxedo guppies at the moment. As you can see, there's been heaps of babies in here. Really enjoy this guppy. I know they're just guppies, but I really enjoy guppies. Guppies are an amazing fish. Super easy to keep. Once you get them home, deworm them. I always recommend deworming your guppies. If you're buying them from wholesale or something like that, if you're picking them up from a local breeder, you probably don't have to, but I mean, it's good practice to quarantine any new fish that you bring home anyway. But yeah, these female guppies have been absolutely pumping the babies out, and they're just loving life, eating some live baby brine. So I'll move on to the other baby fish that we're feeding out. But I just thought I'd show you guys little baby red tuxedo guppies growing up well, chowing down on some live baby brine shrimp. So the baby angelfish, put some in there for them. And these guys are starting to really grow quite fast. So you can see pretty much all of them now have got their angelfish shape. We've got a lot of marbled angelfish going on, but there's definitely a few with the koi sort of pattern on them as well. So these guys just getting fed 2-3 times a day with some live baby brine, plenty of water changes for the tank. But as you can see, they're growing up quite nice. And yeah, I just love watching baby fish chow down on baby brine shrimp. It's such an enjoyable thing to watch. So plenty of little baby angelfish for my local fish shop. And these guys will be moving out of here reasonably soon. Once they start taking some like more drier food and they get a little bit bigger, I'll be moving them down into like a bigger grow out tank. And for now, they're just going to stay in this tank. I've got another batch of angels hopefully on the way. Our blue pair of angels have been really pecking the slate lately. I've been trying to feed them heavy, do some water changes, just condition them up, and hopefully we'll get a big batch of the blue zebra angels like we've got here. All right, up next, I'm gonna put some live baby brine in here for these guys as well. We have our high fin platies. Now they've made plenty of babies. You can see some smaller ones down here hiding in the Anubias, that brine shrimp making its way down now. But up the top here we've got, yeah, big mama, and then we've got the bigger ones are the originals, and all these sort of smaller ones are just all the babies I've been making. So I've been meaning to try and take the adults out of this tank and just have the babies grow out in this tank so that they grow a bit quicker and they're not competing for as much food with the bigger adults. But I am so tight for space right now, tank wise, that I kind of have no choice but to leave the babies and the adults in the same tank. But it's a good little display to show that, you know, platies are pretty good. From what I've found, they're not eating their babies. If they were, there wouldn't be this many babies in the tank. So if you want an easy fish to breed that you don't have to worry about trying to catch the babies or rescue the babies, I'd recommend platies. Really nice, easy fish. Got a lot of color to them. And yeah, if you want to get into breeding fish, start off with something like these. Platies, guppies, mollies, most live bearers, really fun fish to get into, start your little breeding project. So yeah, we'll move on to feeding some more fish. Another tank we just feed the live baby brine to is the baby orange rice fish tank. These guys are starting to grow up really nice. You can see the adults up the top here, so the babies aren't too far away from reaching sort of that mature adult size.
and after that I will have a pretty decent brood stock of orange rice fish. So once that happens, we're going to really ramp up the breeding of the rice fish. I've just only got 3 adults left, and there was a female for here. She's actually holding eggs. It's going to be hard. You can see there, she's actually holding onto a big clutch of eggs right now. So with any luck, she will lay these eggs into this mop. We've got to take these bronze cories out. I've got to go put them into a display tank outside the fish room because unfortunately they have been into the mop and have found the source of the rice fish eggs. So I believe these bronze cories that have been in here have been eating the eggs off the mop. So we're going to move them out, and then hopefully after that the rice fish will just start breeding for us like crazy, and we'll be able to make like heaps and heaps of little baby orange rice fish and sell them off to my local fish shop as well. So plenty of baby fish going on in the fish room at the moment. It's fun, it's exciting, and there's just heaps of different baby fish as well. So all exciting times at the moment. All right, so I'm gonna come down to this tank. This has turned into a bit of a like rainbow fish display tank. So all these rainbow fish are ones that I've like spawned, but the goiter rivers I moved out of the other tank because I saw them eating my Sturbe Corridora eggs, and we don't want that to happen. So I've moved the 4 goiter river rainbows out and moved them into this fish tank. So we've got goiter river rainbow fish, we've got some Bosmani rainbow fish, and we've got some crimson spot rainbow fish. So I also pulled a big hunk of Java fern out of my display tank outside the fish room, and thought I'd put that in here as well just to sort of enhance the rainbow fish colors, and just drop some food in there now, some like little micro pellets, and plenty so that the little baby cories in here that are growing up well can get a feed as well. So we've got some cute little long fin albino corridoras here. I almost said bristlenose just then. And then we've got, this is the only fish that I haven't spawned in this tank. This is my royal whiptail catfish. And then we've got some really, really fraidy cat sort of angelfish at the back as well. So I don't know why, but for some reason the angelfish, they just don't like to, like not all angelfish, just these 4 angelfish, they are very, very camera shy. They do not like coming out for some reason with the camera. But all the other fish, no worries at all. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, don't forget that like button as well. And with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.